Okay.
Oh.
Go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
Hello, I am Ny'Asia Bell of the Little Shop of Stories Galley Club. I am here today with Mrs. Sharon Draper, author of Stella by Starlight. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm delighted to be here.
Yes, so I've heard of your newest award, the APA Margaret Edwards Life Achievement Award. How did it feel winning that award?
I was stunned. I was stunned when the committee called me and said that I had won that award. I mean, this is given to established authors, recognized authors, respected authors. So to receive that is really, really meaningful because it comes from librarians, from people who know books and understand the importance of the impact of a book on a child. So it really, really means a lot. I was thrilled.
Wow. Congratulations again. I'm just so thrilled for you. Were some of the events in your book, Stella by Starlight, metaphorical?
I don't know if metaphorical is the right word. The events in Stella by Starlight were inspired, might be a better word, by real events, but everything in the book is fiction. But when you write good fiction, it's based on reality. Okay, so good fiction is based on, well, unless you do fantasy, then it's not really reality, but it's the reality of that world, of the fantasy world. A fantasy world even has to have its own rules. So the events in Stella by Starlight are based on the reality of the world that she lived in 1932 in North Carolina. So they are a sense of what could be real and what might have been real, but they're not.
Very interesting. Do you have friends who act or think like Stella?
Do I have friends that act like Stella? No. Stella's 11. I know a lot of 11-year-olds. And because I'm fairly experienced with young people, because I was a teacher, I feel comfortable in the world of 11-year-olds or the world of young people. So I can kind of channel what an 11-year-old might think and do in a particular set of circumstances.
What was your favorite part of Stella by Starlight?
My favorite part? It's kind of hard to say because there's so many good parts. There's the scene where the house burns down, but I don't want to give away too much. There's the scene where Stella is a hero, but I don't want to give that away because Stella is a hero more than once. There's the scene where the community comes together in solidarity, and that made me feel proud because I had created a community that was able to do something and make a difference. So it's not one favorite part, and actually that's the question that I should ask you, is what was your favorite part? Because what's more important is what is the reader's favorite part of the story, not the writer's. So I'm going to turn it around and ask you, what was your favorite part?
Well, my personal favorite part, one of my favorite parts anyways, I remember the most clearly, is when Stella and her family and a lot of the community members went to go support her father and the other men that were going to try to vote.
See, we had the same scene. We had the same scene where they all sit together and they sing that song. I have that music, and maybe if we have time tonight, I will play some of that music for you so you can hear the rhythms of what was going on.
How have your personal experiences influenced your writing?
I don't think you can be a writer unless you incorporate your personal experiences. I don't think that you can be a writer unless you put yourself into it. So nothing in the book ever happened to me, but everything in the book happened to me. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, whatever it is that makes me up to be me, I had to put that into the story so that the story would flow, so that the story would make sense to other people. So, for example, the scene, and we won't give away anything, but the jump in the lake scene where Stella and this other girl are both in the water. That was a terrifying scene for me to write because I can't swim, okay? So in order to write that scene, I had to visualize what it would be like to almost drown. And that really wasn't very hard because I can't swim. So it's the essence of what you are that you put into a story.
What do you think your purpose in life is?
My purpose in life, I think right now, is to write and to share and to inspire young people to write and to share what they have and what they're good at and what they like. You told me that you like fantasy. I'm not a fantasy fan, but I want to encourage you to do that as much as possible because we need your voice just as much as we need the voice of the next person and the next person, because what makes reading positive and magical is the fact that every voice is different. Every single book that's in this store is from a different voice, from a different author who had a different way of seeing the world and writing it down, so they're all valid. My job is to make sure that you know that you feel validated, and that I keep writing books that you will want to read.
If you could travel back in time, what moment would you go to and why?
What moment would I go to if I could go back in time? That is such a good question. I thought about going back and meeting Dr. Martin Luther King. My husband did when he was a little boy, but he didn't realize that Martin Luther King was a famous person because it was before he was a famous person. He was just a very short preacher walking around asking people to come to a meeting that night. I would like to go back and meet a lot of famous people, but the most important person that I think I would like to go back, I would like to go back and meet my grandmother when she was 10 years old, because that was what inspired this book, is my grandmother going outside to write when she was 10 years old. So I would like to sit down and talk to her and be 10 again, and the two of us as 10-year-olds sit and talk about whatever it is the 10-year-olds talk about. But I would really like to be able to talk to her.
Well, that concludes my interview. This has been Ny'Asia Bell of the Little Shop of Stories Galley Club. Thank you for watching. See you next time.